Hi, this is David Bliven, Bronx and Westchester divorce attorney, with another episode of Lessons from the Divorce Wars. So this lesson comes in through a very recent case that I was doing. I actually had a deposition this week. And this is a lesson to people that can afford better attorneys and go cheap when they go for their divorce case. So this person at the deposition was a millionaire. They have tens of millions of dollars in properties. The husband is earning many hundreds of thousands of dollars in income, but chose to hire an attorney that's billing him out at $4.50 an hour. And newsflash, if you're a high income, high net worth client, the good attorneys in the greater New York City area, and I'm taping this as of July 2024, they're going to bill at least $600 an hour, but more probably $700 or $800 an hour. The really elite attorneys might bill $1,000 an hour. I've heard as high as $1,250 an hour, and that's in Westchester. That might not even be Manhattan. But if you are a millionaire and have tens of millions of dollars in assets at stake in your case, now is not the time to go cheap. And so this guy, I don't know, he must, just really be that cheap. He hires this law firm, pays him $4.50 an hour. They send in an associate, as it is, to do the deposition. They, for whatever reason, they didn't even send in their senior partner. They sent in an associate, and I looked him up. He's just been an attorney for a few years. So at no point did the millionaire husband say, gee, why is this kid coming in and doing my deposition that only has a few years legal experience? Am I confident that this kid knows what he's doing at the deposition? Well, I don't know whether he realized it or not, but the answer is no. He didn't know what he was doing at all. As but one of many examples at the deposition, there was an issue where my client, I was defending the deposition. My client was the less moneyed spouse, the wife in the case. An issue came up at the deposition that my client was involved in some lawsuit. So the attorney says, "Oh, I see, you were in a lawsuit a few years ago. What's up with that?" He literally phrased it like that. And she was like, "Oh, it was a car accident." He was like, "Oh, okay. Were you injured?" She was like, "Yes." And he said, "Oh, seriously injured?" And she said, "Yes." And then, rather than asking any other questions about the lawsuit, he moved on to another topic. And there's just obvious questions that would stem from those answers, like, okay, you were seriously injured. What were your injuries? Was the lawsuit settled? How much did you get? Where did that money go? I mean, these are just obvious questions that would come up to a fifth grader. Not even a lawyer would think that these are, that would occur, that's obvious probing questions. As it is, this deposition went on for less than 2 hours. I think it was maybe a tad over an hour for, again, a high-income, high-net-worth case. Just so we're on the same page, my deposition script that I work from, so it's the minimum questions, is roughly 100 questions long. It goes on for about 7-8 pages long. And that does not include probing questions. That does not include questions that I didn't get to pose in the interrogatories. That doesn't count all the questions that would make up the statutory factors on child support, equitable distribution, and maintenance. All those are extra questions that I have at the bottom of the script. And I've rarely done a deposition that takes less than roughly 3 hours. And that's on quote unquote normal average divorce cases. In high net worth or high income cases, I almost never take much less than 7 hours. And indeed, in some cases, I've gone to the judge and I've asked for consent or an order that I can take more than the 7 hours. So for this attorney to take a little over 1 hour on a high income, high net worth case is at least arguably malpractice. But it at the very, very least, it was a poor job on behalf of a client that could afford far better. So this is a lesson that goes out there, even if you're not a millionaire, but you have decent enough money, you have 150, 200,000, 250, you can afford a good attorney. If you have enough at stake in your case, pay to get a good attorney. That's the lesson. Otherwise you get what you get at trial, which is not going to be much. If you're looking for other answers to questions like these, definitely check out my blog. You'll find it at blivenlaw.net/blog. See you next time.